Hey friends, so I'm here to discuss books that made me cry. Everyone has books that they was crying on, so I'm just going to talk about the books that I was crying on. So let's start off with Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and this is the first book in her autobiography series. I actually can't remember how many books she has in the series, 7 or 8. But this is the first one, and I've read a bunch of them. But I definitely cried on this book. So what was happening? Why did I cry? There's a lot of terrible things that happens in Maya Angelou's life. Like, there's plenty to cry about. But I actually probably cried on a part that was more like motivational, I'll say. So, spoiler alert. And I Know Why Caged Bird Sings. Maya Angelou's about to graduate. I can't remember if it's from middle school. I feel like it's from middle school. She's about to graduate, and it's such a big deal in the town. Everybody's like dressing up, and like it's such a big deal, and they're so excited to graduate. They're so excited. So they go to graduation, and some white official, some school person, I can't remember exactly who he is, but he drops by their graduation, and he drops by on his way to a white school's graduation. So he wasn't really planning on staying for long. He drops by and he's just like, oh yeah, we've had a lot of, athletes sometimes come out of this school, or like, it's all he basically says, like, yeah, you could be an athlete. And it's so discouraging. All the students, like, they're so sad after this. It just seems like he's ruined the graduation for them. And this boy, who's their classmate, stands up and he faces the graduation class. He is graduating as well. And he starts singing the Black anthem. He starts singing Lift Your Voice and Sing, and then they all sing together. I was crying. That's what happened. That's why I was crying on the book. I was just like, it was just so nice to me. I don't know. It was something about that part. There was something so moving to me about that part. Like, I was crying. Yes, I was. So, Maya Angelou, I Know Why Caged Bird Sing. You may not cry on that part. You might not cry at all, but definitely a book that I cried on. The next book I'll bring up that I cried on, like, I do remember crying on this book. It's called The Dead and Gone by Susan Pfeiffer. I had to have read this a while ago, like 7 to 10 years ago, but I remember crying like a baby. So, The Dead and Gone is part of a sci-fi, not even, I want to say dystopian, but a sci-fi apocalyptic young adult trilogy. And this is the second book in the trilogy. So really, the trilogy is about how the moon gets really close to the earth. And because it gets really close, like it's huge, everybody's looking out the window looking at it. Because it gets so big, it's causing all these natural disasters, water overflowing everywhere, so the world's like, up in chaos. The second book, we get way different characters in the first book, which is Life as We Knew It. We get different characters, and we see from their point of view, like living in New York City. Devastating. Like, if you don't want to read a book where people be dying, don't read The Dead and Gone. Don't. But people be dying, and it was so sad to me. Like, I was crying like a baby. I did think it was a good book, though. I honestly did. That was judging from me a long time ago, so I'll probably have to reread this, see if it's still good. Can't trust your younger self all the time, but I bet it's still gonna probably make people cry, because like people dying because of natural disasters. Yeah, no, that's sad. That's really sad. So yeah, The Dead and Gone by Susan Pfeiffer. Cried on it, and the trilogy is a Life as We Knew It series if you're interested in reading about that. Next would be Men We Reaped by Jesmyn Ward. Jesmyn Ward is a great writer. It's like, she writes beautifully, but just reading the synopsis of the book, you already know it's going to be sad. So I knew what I was doing, getting myself into this. Jesmyn Ward's Men We Reaped is about her. It's a memoir type of book, but she's talking about how a bunch of men in her life died in really close to each other, like date-wise. And we go through each of their stories and how they died and how it also like affects her. And very sad. It was very sad, honestly. I probably cried. I cried a lot on this book. I'll definitely say I cried a lot on this book. I'm planning on reading Sing Unbury Sing by her, and I have been warned by someone that book is sad. Even though that is a novel, I've been warned that it's sad, so I'm going to prepare myself for that, but I'm probably going to be crying on that as well. So it was a really, really good book, though. If you don't want to read about people dying or be really sad, skip it. You need something happy, skip it. But Jesmyn Ward is a great writer. Next, I'll bring it up really briefly because I did a review on it already, The Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. So that is about a guy who's trying to save this girl he meets on a staircase, and he ends up in this time loop. She keeps dying, he keeps trying to save her. I did cry on this book. Spoiler alert again, for this video is just full of spoilers, I guess. I'm really telling quick synopsis, it's not telling that much, but I'll say, before I read The Opposite of Always, I did look at people's reviews. I just wanted to see if they seemed happy. And I cried, but it was a happy cry. That's all I'll say. I thought it was very sweet, and it was like, oh, look how cute this book is. Cry. So it was a cute cry. If you're looking to cry, but not be devastated, go The Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. Lastly, back to being devastated. I read Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. I think the movie came out recently, playing Michael B. Jordan. I don't really watch movies or books that I read. Once in a while I will. But I know the movie's coming out. Besides the point. Just Mercy, definitely devastating. If you don't know what it's about a young attorney, and he does like pro bono work. He works with these, and he's trying to help people on death row. Usually some kind of marginalized group, black people, children. I think he even brings up people that have disabilities. So he's always trying to help people on death row, and either they were wrongfully convicted, or they had a non-violent crime, or they had a violent crime, but they were really young, and the circumstances surrounding it need to be explained for you to understand it. You know, like they don't want like a 10-year-old being charged as an adult and being in jail for the rest of their life, or on death row. So that is really what the book is about. This seems like, yeah, something that would be sad, because it is. The part that's like devastating. Like there's so much devastating things in there, but the part where I was like definitely crying, I had to close this book a lot. Like I was just on the bus and I'd be like, that's enough, because breathe in. Breathe out, you know, you breathe in, breathe out to get those tears to stop flowing. I had to do that on this book. There's a part where the main character, the lawyer, he's trying to help this guy who's on death row. He's gonna die soon. They have him, you know, set to die. Maybe like a few days, few weeks. I can't recall exactly, because I read this book a little bit ago too. But he tries to help him. He tries his best, and in the end, he really can't help him. He ends up not being able to save him, which sometimes that happens. And the guy asks him, could he come to his execution? He just wanted somebody to be there for him. It was so hard for him to go, but he goes anyway, you know, to be there for the guy and see him get executed. Oh my gosh, like a baby. I'm telling you, I was crying, and I was just like, I'm gonna have to put this book down for a little bit, because it devastated me. Like there's some books where you just cannot keep reading it through. You gotta read it, shut, and then wait. Same thing I did with Jesmyn Ward's Men We Reap. I would read it, digest, shut, you know, because it would be too much sadness flowing at me at once, and I'm a crybaby. Like, I really am. I cry on movies, TV shows, and that includes like reality TV shows. I probably even cry on no, I do cry on cartoons. So I'm a crybaby, but books, I cry less on, but still, I'm still a crybaby. So that is all the books that I honestly could think of that I cried on. I'm such a crybaby. I probably cried on other things, but those would be the ones that I can really remember crying on. So, what books made you cry in a sad or happy way? Let me know, because maybe I can find a new book to read. If it's sad, I'll definitely like put it on my to read list. May not read it like right now. If it's a good happy cry, for sure we'll read faster, because who doesn't want a good happy cry? Everyone. That is it for my video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.